we are in a period of the distrust. Misperception is the most dangerous thing. If we do not make any efforts to prevent our bilateral relationship from deteriorating, Cold War might be the best result we could achieve in the near future. We need this sustaining academic exchange, antidote to growing hostility and mistrust in this difficult period.
What role does cultural exchange play in fostering better understanding between the US and China?
The first remark I want to make is to President-elect Trump. Please restart the Fulbright program. I'm the Fulbrighter in 2015 to 2016 at the Science of Johns Hopkins. It is really a wonderful experience. I usually recall the events organized by the Department of State. That is a baseball match, pumpkin pickup, and the visit to the Howard University, the first university for African Americans after the Civil War. And I usually talk with my experience to my students in my course. And I once had a plan to apply for this Fulbright Scholar in Residence to teach Chinese civilization for the United States host university. Unfortunately, this program was abolished in Trump's first term. I was supposed to be here last September and end my one-year program this September. However, I got my invitation in last March, and I got my documents for C1 visa at the end of December. 9 months check, which just took me 3 days in 2008 visit. My university is in a suspicious list. I got many questions in my visa application in the Consulate General of Shenyang, but fortunately I'm here. I think today we need this sustaining academic exchange. I want to speak to Beijing and Washington that even though we were enemies, we still need this sustaining academic exchange. If we stop communication, if we do not make any efforts to prevent our bilateral relationship from deteriorating, the Cold War, now we are worried about, might be the best result we could achieve in the near future.
What areas should the US and China engage in more?
I like your word engage. Today, fewer people use the word engage. Confrontation and conflict became the main word to describe US and China relationship. I think this engagement didn't fail. So I'm the achievement of this engagement. Because this is my third time and third year in the United States. I taught my students about what the United States really is based on my observation here, and talk with my colleagues in the United States about what China really is. So this is still a good policy for Chinese United States to engage together. I think there are plenty of areas like global health, cultural exchange. Yeah, but I think today, the priority should go to two areas. One is the nuclear arm control and the non-proliferation, because the Ukraine war is a great challenge for this non-proliferation. Russia's military tie with the North Korea is both worrying and risky for this non-proliferation. And the other should go to the regional stability and the security. The potential conflict area for China and the United States are there, Taiwan, South China Sea, and the Korean Peninsula. So if we do not manage these disputes quite well, that may result in some catastrophic disaster. So how should we engage? I think the most important thing for these two parties should restart the high-level dialogue. In the Bush Jr. and the Obama years, we have this strategic and economic dialogue. So the top diplomats and the financial decision makers met regularly. Even though today it is harder and harder for them to reach agreement, even with full of, we say, the quarrel and the blames, we still need that. Because through that dialogue, we could know each other's right line instead of through guessing. And also can speak, frankly, our bottom line. So the misperception is the most dangerous thing in this period of distrust.
Why is sustained academic exchange between the US and China important?
Today, we are in a period of the distrust. In the past few years, due to various reasons, United States students and tourists to China declined dramatically. I hope such a kind of exchange could be restored due to the joint efforts of both sides. Just a few weeks ago, United States eased the travel advisory for China. I think that's a good sign. I think we could start with the academic exchange. Scholars would bring the Beijing and Washington's voice and then bring back their response. I still remember I once had an experience. I once attended the US-China Young Leadership Dialogue in 2016 in DC. The topic is about denuclearization in Korean Peninsula. So before the session, the young scholars from both sides, we both have the doubt that whether United States and China really hope the realization of the denuclearization. After the one-day closed door and the sincere session, we re-established the trust for our effort for the denuclearization. I think our discussion would be submitted as a report to our government, and that might help us to reestablish this kind of mutual trust.